Welcome back. What's up? Do people still say what's up? I never know how to start these things. I should probably just hit record and dive right into it, because intros are certainly not my thing. Intros and goodbyes, I hate them both. Anyways, so if you saw my last videos, you realize that I challenged myself very recently to go on a photo walk with only my iPhone XR. The whole goal was to show someone that gear doesn't matter. I wanted to encourage someone who wants to start in photography but doesn't have gear. Hopefully, I was successful in that. But today, I want to do something a little different. Social media only shows the best. You only see the best images, you see the cream of the crop, which basically means on the inverse, you never see the bad or even the ugly. And I just don't think that's realistic. So today, what I want to show you is a few clips from the photo walk that didn't work. We'll call them the bad and the ugly. And at the end, I want to share just a couple quick tips for you to improve your photography. So let's just jump into some of these shots here. Okay, this one, I'm trying to frame the storefront of this restaurant in these chairs, and it's just not working. This chair simply is not working. But here's my first tip. The photo that you have in mind, the photo that you want to take, could be as simple as moving to the right or the left a foot, 2 feet. I'm terrible with distances. You can just move to the right or the left a very small amount, and there's your image. So in this case, I needed to move to the right just a little bit because it was a different style of chairs that had a rhombus, a diamond, square, rhombus. I think it's a rhombus. Whatever, a square that's turned on its axis there. And because I stuck with it, I was able to take this shot here, and I'm actually very pleased with it. Moving on. Okay, we were walking down Main Street, and the Lollipop shop has a fantastic storefront. Vibrant colors. I just love how it pops out of the scene. I wanted to take a photo of it, but here's the biggest challenge that I think comes with mobile photography. Everyone has a mobile phone, so even people who don't have aspirations of being a photographer are using the same camera. So the challenge is to make your photos stand out and not seem like, I'm gonna call it a tourist snapshot, okay? You know what I mean. Just blindly walking by, snapping the photo, and that's the end of it. So you've gotta really pay attention to your composition. In this case, I tried and failed to use these trash cans to frame up the storefront, and it just did not work. And we live in a small town. People don't know how to act when you have a camera out. That was funny. I actually like this photo right here better, but I don't have any footage of me getting it. This is what I would call still bad, because to me, the subject of the Lollipop shop still doesn't stand out as much. I personally think there's too much substance on the left of this image, and unfortunately with 12 megapixels, I don't really have the room to crop and frame out the left, so never posted this image either. Next, we have garage door. Garage door that, to my eye, on that day with that lighting, was screaming at me to be photographed. The trouble is, could not figure out a good way to photograph it. I took the photo.
Felt underwhelming.
And my suspicions were correct. Here it is. You can see it, but it was certainly underwhelming. Okay, I was really excited about this photo here. I'm a sucker for reflections. I love playing with reflections and storefronts, windows, mirrors, all of these things. I think that they're just a really creative way to compose an image. So as we were walking, in the corner of my eye, I saw this bell tower in this storefront as a reflection. So I dove into this planter pot structure thing, tried to take this image. My goal was to frame the bell tower within these two posts, these two pieces of the structure, and it just didn't work. But now that I think about it, I probably just could have moved around. There's certainly room. I probably didn't even need to shoot this as a reflection now that I see that. Dang it. It just means I'm gonna have to go back to this location and try this shot again. So I do want to kind of finish on a high note, because in addition to the bad and the ugly, you do also get good images, and I want to show you that on a walk, you're gonna get all of these things. So this image here, I'm walking down the street, and this house. I love the ivy on the tree on the hillside. I love the framing of it. So I literally dive into this tree and I get this image, and I'm really pleased with it. I like this image a lot. I've actually considered printing it. And my favorite image of the day almost didn't happen. You can see right here before I start this clip, I am contemplating, do I walk up these stairs and try this image?
All right.
Obviously, I decided to give it a go. What drew my attention here is the blooms on these trees, the colors of the house, and I knew that if I could just get close enough, I could use the elements of the trees, of the blooms, to frame out some of the distractions and end up with the house. Ultimately, I ended up with my favorite photo of the day.
That may be my favorite photo of the day. I'm gonna cast my lot. That's it. We can go home.
Clearly, I was jazzed here.
Special teams, special players, special plays.
Shout out Sketch. So here's some tips that I think you can use to help improve your mobile photography. Number one, find and use foreground elements. This is going to immediately separate your photo from just a tourist snapshot, I'll call it. The way you use foreground is totally up to you. Sometimes this can be used to block out distractions like this trash can. Other times it can be used to literally frame the subject, draw your viewer to what you intended them to see, such as the back of this chair. The sign was what I intended you to see, not the back of the chair. I used the back of the chair. You get it. Hopefully you get it. I should just quit. Number two, bring the exposure down. What this is going to do is add more contrast to your image, which already out of the gate, straight out of the camera, is going to make your photos be different than a standard snapshot. Number three, use leading lines and rules of thirds. Use the rule of thirds. Use the rule of thirds. Your grid, the tic-tac-toe board, turn it on, use it. Learn how to use rules of thirds. Keep saying that. Learn how to use the rule of thirds. What do I mean by leading lines? Okay, let's look at this train. The photo has all kinds of lines that are just drawing you to the subject, which in this case is the train. You've got the lines on the left-hand side of the actual station. The framing of the roof is actually blocking out the distracting sky, which ultimately just leads you to the train. And lastly, just don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged by seeing great photos online, because again, what they're not showing you are these bad photos, and we all take them. You're going to continue to have good photos, and you're going to continue to have bad photos if you stay on this photography journey. Think about musicians. I assure you they have hundreds of songs that they never recorded because of that reason. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Hopefully you found this video helpful, or at least entertaining. Actually, at this point, if you stayed this long, I just hope you don't consider it a complete waste of your time. If you have any tips that you would like to share with a beginner photographer, be sure to put those in the comments, because this is my whole goal, is to inspire people to continue or start their photography journey. Stick around and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me in the future. You don't have to, but I sure would appreciate it. That little button right there, free to click. Do so if you want, or don't. That's fine too. Keep shooting, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Took a lot of pictures that day. A lot of them just didn't work out. And that's part of it. It'll continue to be part of it. Just don't let it stop you from getting your next good photo. What even is a good photo? What makes a photo good? That's a deep topic. Is it good because of the edit? Is it good because of the subject? Is it good because of the framing? Or is good just truly a 100% relative metric. I think it's probably relative. What I consider good, you may not consider good. And that's the great thing about photography. Your work's going to speak to somebody, and others aren't going to appreciate it. And that's okay.